Steve said you're day-to-day, but just to ask you directly, do you think you'll play in Game 3?
It'll be a game time decision. But for me personally, it'd be hard to see me not playing. So hopefully I'll feel much better tomorrow and be a go for tip-off.
John Dickinson, 95.7 The Game. Just to kind of follow up on that, what would the training staff have to say to you to where you wouldn't play? Is it entirely in their hands, or would it also, how strong of a case would you make to go at that point?
Obviously, I'll do anything I can to be out there, but it's all in their hands, and if there's any pain, it would be a no-go just because of the position we're in. You know, this could be a longer series, so there's no point in trying to go out there and re-aggravate it and potentially keep myself out of the whole entire finals instead of just one game. So, like I said, it'll be a game-time decision, but I really want to be out there.
And just how's the pain level for you now, and were you able to do anything this morning other than just some of the shooting we saw?
Oh, it's much better than it was Sunday night, so hopefully the same progress will be made, and I'll be moving like my normal self tomorrow. But pain level wasn't too crazy at all.
Mark, next row.
Klay, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. People like Boogie and Steph have never remembered seeing a box and one in the NBA until Sunday night. What did you think of that defense? Steph called it disrespectful and janky.
I mean, I didn't mind it because we ended up winning the game, so and Andre got a great look there at the end for the dagger. So I don't think it was the best strategy because we did get open looks, but we didn't score too well in those last 6 minutes. But that doesn't matter because, like I said, we made the buckets when they needed to be made the most.
Front row on your right.
Anthony Sutter with The Athletic. Clay, can you just take us through the play where the injury, it seemed to begin the discomfort when you kind of did the splits there, and then you still played through it, and when did you kind of start feeling the pain where you couldn't play?
I mean, I anticipated getting hit, which I probably shouldn't have done, so I landed awkwardly, just kind of tweaked my hamstring, and when you're moving, it's all good, but right when you stop moving around, it just really tightened it up on me like a knot, and I couldn't really get any full motion anymore. So I called to come out the game because I literally couldn't run like I'm used to. And it sucked, but like I said before, the progress I've made these last couple of days is very encouraging. And if it continues, I look forward to playing tomorrow night.
Next row back.
Clay, right here, right side, second row. I remember last finals that after the game one, actually you got a swollen ankle from that injury. And then what was the mindset out there to make you to decide to play at the game two? Because after that, I remember your ankle just so swollen. Yeah. And then what was the mindset out there? And then do you have the same mindset here when you go into the game two?
I mean, well, last year I think I was in a much worse position than I am now, which is good. So that's a good sign. I mean, injuries are never fun. It's the most unfortunate part of sports, but it tests your character, and playing through pain makes it all worth it in the end, especially this time of the year. I don't think anyone's 100% healthy on both teams, but like I said before, you just gotta, as cliche as it is, dig deep and realize we have months to rest after this and recover. So for me, it's just about doing everything I can up till tip-off tomorrow to be able to go, because I hate missing games. I really do.
Next question, fourth row on the right.
Tom Haberstroh, NBC Sports. Clay, you've guarded CP, you've guarded Dame, you've guarded tons of point guards this postseason. You're going up against Kawhi Leonard in this series for a lot of possessions. What kind of, issues does he present versus a point guard guarding a guy like Kawhi?
I mean, Kawhi is so big and strong. You can't really muscle him. You can't really force him off his path. All you can do is try and take away his airspace. He's got to become such a good ball handler, such a great shooter, especially in the mid-range, that you got to do anything you can to take his rhythm away. You can tell he plays a great rhythm, especially with the ball when he has a live dribble. So as a defender, you just try and make someone with that much talent and ability a little more uncomfortable, whether it's doubling off a ball screen or switching aggressively or just, picking up at half court, trying to make them work for every possession. Lucky for us, we have so many great defenders, we can throw many looks at them. But Kawhi just presents a lot of problems, and his playmaking has gotten so much better since he first got in the league. He's a complete player on that side of the ball, or just a complete player in general, and much different challenge than what I faced in these last few rounds. So I embrace it, and it's fun to measure yourself against the best.
Just as a quick follow-up, the hamstring, is it offensively just running up and down when you feel it most, or is it, side to side limiting?
I think it's just on when I have to stop on a dime or make hard cuts. That's when you feel it the most. But if I can just be out there, even at 80%, I still think I can be very effective. So I'll do whatever I can to get to that full 100, but if not, I'll still be out there and try and do what I can to help my team win.
In the Guardian, in a situation like this, how do you gauge what's an appropriate pain to play through and what's a pain that you need to say, that's too much, I need to sit out? How do you sort of determine that?
That's a good question. Probably if you only feel it on certain a couple moves, you're fine. But if you feel it every step of the way, that's not a good sign. And I do not feel it with every move I make, only on certain ones. So you can kind of play through that. But if it was something that was consistent on whenever I move my leg, or if I ever if I make every sharp cut or every sprint, that would not be good. But it's only a few exact movements that I really feel it. So that's very encouraging.
Last question in the fifth row.
Dennis from Tencent. Hi, Klay. Coach Kerr mentioned your health condition. You mentioned you have to day-to-day consideration and game time decision, and he mentioned the word risk. He said it's all about taking risks, whether to put you on the court. So what's your thoughts on those risk-taking things?
Well, something's got to give. It's the NBA Finals, and we're putting our bodies on the line every game. That's just the nature of our business, injuries, and obviously we have such a great training staff that they're closing that window of risk for me by the hour. And from the progress I've made these last 2 days, I'm very encouraged that I'll be able to go out there tomorrow night. And as long as nothing's torn or really injured, I'm not too fearful of it because, knock on wood, I've been very blessed with not very many traumatic injuries in my career. And I don't think this one is of greatest concern, but it's just the day and age we live in where, little things can just grow to be big problems, but I don't think this will be one of them.